Right, good afternoon. Welcome to the next part of my Forever project. I think it's part 4, but I'm not 100% sure. Rule sets and basing. Still not 100% committed on which way I want to go, but I've got plenty of time to think about that. I won't be basing anything up for certainly until the latter part of this year at the earliest, so I've got plenty of time to sort it out. But I am erring on this set of rules, but Art Delegaire. It's basically DBA, but the bases are they're 80mm frontage for all units and different depths, depending on if units are double ranked or single rank like Velites. Rather than have one base stood behind the other, I'd sooner have the two ranks on one base. A couple of reasons for that. One, you can be a bit more what's the word? A bit more adventurous with your basing, make each one like a little bit of a diorama. And also, the larger area of the base, you can keep all these brittle spears and things, try and keep it inside the boundary of the base, so that we don't get things snapping and everything all the time. I mean, they will, it's just because they're so thin. I've already started building them. I haven't snapped anything yet, but give it time, with my big fat fingers I will. So, as I say, we're still not 100% committed yet with the rules or the basing, but I've got a lot of time to think about that. So if I move that out of the way, the next thing I'm going to show you, before we get to them books, is contrast paints. I bought a good selection of the colour spectrum to give a try out. I was asked if I'd ever tried contrast paints. Well, I've never. I thought, well, a paint's a paint, I use Vallejo, I'm quite happy with them. But I said, oh no, it speeds your paint up. So I thought, well, how can it speed your paint up? You've still got to cover the same amount of bloody area. But anyway, I looked on YouTube, as you do, and there are a whole slew of videos of this stuff being used. And I have to say, I was impressed. The way it goes on more like a wash or a stain than it goes on as a paint. You're kind of pushing it around like you would a wash or a stain, and also you can whip it off again as well. If you put dry brush on there, you can take some off, so you're not stuck with it all on there. So I'm going to give these a try. It's they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Well, this old dog's going to try. It's a new project, so I'll see what they're like, and they've all got these strange Games Workshop names, but you can pretty much see the colour. And so yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I've got about what in there, I don't know, a couple of dozen, maybe 20, 22, something like that. But I've got a broad selection. Obviously, I'm not going to be using them and slinging me Vallejo. Vallejo's will still be used. Besides which, in these things you can't get metallics. So, for instance, for brass and copper and steel and stuff. So you still have to use your Vallejo for that. But I'll say I'll give it a try. Nothing to lose. I got a good deal on these. So, in for a penny, in for a pound. I'll give them a go. I'll put that out there. Next, I ain't painted a bloody figure yet, but I'm already thinking ahead to a campaign. And as you can see, I've got a selection of classics there by Grant, Tony Bath and Don Featherstone. And also this one by William Sylvester, which is pretty modern, but there's lots of good ideas in there, not only just a sort of wargaming, but doing campaigns as well. So between them 4 books, you know, I'm going to have a pretty good idea of what I want to do. And I would like to do the campaign. I'll pick these up to one side. And as all 4 of them authors said in the book, if you're going to do a campaign, you need a map. And so I've got myself a map. This is from, I'll go up there, it's from Pax, the board game, the GMT board game, Pax Romana. And if I come down, I'll show you why it's perfect, because it's got everything on it that we really need. We've got Libya, we've got Carthage, we've got Numidia. If we come across, obviously we've got Hispania, or Iberia as we call it in this part. We've got the Gallic tribes up there. We've got the German tribes. Various other tribes. We've got where did I see them? There's some can't see them now. What they want? Oh, Dacians. That's it. Dacians. They're up there. Look, not in the Danube area. And then if we come down into Italy, we've got the northern Italy section. We've got Rome, and then let's come out a bit. The Samnites lived in central and southern Rome, but also at this time, the Greeks had occupied the foot, if you like, of Italy and Sicily, and there were lots of Greek city-states there. So I thought, well, if I'm going to do all these nations, which I've just pointed out, I mean, I've got no Gallics, no Germanics, or Dacians yet, but that's not to say they won't arrive at some point in the future if I want to expand the campaign. But the Greeks are going to be quite important. I don't need a massive army, but need enough to defend these city-states. So I'll be spending again. And to defend them city-states, we've got some Greek unarmoured hoplites and the archers. 56 in the box, obviously it's Victrix again, it's all Victrix. If I turn them over, shows you the figures. So we've got archers and hoplites. I've just got to do them as like a city army. Don't need thousands and thousands of them, but enough. So we've got them. To back them up, we've got some Greek peltas, javelin men and slingers. So we've got our shielded troops, and we've got some archers, and now we've got javelins and peltas and slingers as well to boot. So the Greek force is building up. Of course, you've got to have some Greek light cavalry, and there's an option in here to build some Thessalian cavalry as well, which is an option which I'll probably take. So we've got some light cavalry for them. And finally for the Greeks is some Macedonian Greek successor heavy cavalry. These can be used as Greeks themselves, or they could even be the start of a Seleucid army with the range and the head options that you get with these. So that's the Greek army now for the city-states. And of course, because I was back at the store, I had to go back to Carthage. and get a war elephant. Well, there's two actually in there. So you can't have a Carthaginian army without a pigging elephant, can you? So we have got, and there's lots of figures in there as well that go with it. It's the main bodies of the elephants. So Carthage has now got its, let's see what you've got there so you can read it at your leisure. Yeah, Carthage has now got a couple of elephants, and that should really now be enough to keep me going a while. And of course there's somebody at the door. Back in a sec. Back again. So yeah, I think what I was saying was that should now be enough, and I've got enough figures now to keep me painting for the next, I don't know, 2 or 3 years probably. It's going to take some time, but I'm in no rush. I'll take as long as I need to take. The first thing what's happening is I've already started building the Clash of Spears Roman Army box set. The 12 Velites, the 12 Hastati, 6 each of Principe and Triarii are all built, ready for priming. It's just the rest of the figures in the box, 4 cavalry, some Samnite allies and the command. And they'll then be ready for priming, which I want to get done while the weather's good. But what I shall do is once they're finished, I'll obviously take a photograph, maybe even a video of them. Not exciting with just primer on. But then they'll go in a box. But at the same time I want to finish the Carthaginian starter army as well. And get them all primed up, so when the painting season starts, end of September, beginning of October, whenever it eventually occurs, I've got 100 figures or so to be getting on with if the weather's poor. And I'm going to leave them single based initially. I shall just mount them temporarily on coins to give them a bit of heft so they don't keep falling over. And I'll try Clash of Spear rules. I've got the rule set. I've got them little cards that came in the start army packs, so I'll give it a go. It's a skirmish game. You've got 50 figures per side. It should look okay. Certainly worth a try. And of course the rest of the project can rumble on in the background. So that's the plans. Hope that's whetted your appetite for the project, and as you can see now we're pretty much set for everything that I've got planned, even though it's going to take some time. So thanks for watching. I'll speak to you on the next one. Bye for now.